Hey everybody, we are really moving along on this guitar. We have got the neck attached to the body, we've got the fretboard slotted. We are now ready to attach the fretboard to the neck. Some people do attach the fretboard to the neck and the body and get everything glued together at once. Some people will carve the neck by itself without the fretboards. There are a variety of different ways to approach this. All of them are pretty intimidating, but we'll get through it. I want to show you the way that I do it, and the way that I do it is I attach the fretboard to the neck while it's bolted to the body. I get it all clamped up, and then I take it off. I approach this kind of like I would glue it to the body straight away, but I don't really want to do that right now. I like carving the neck off of the body and being able to maneuver the neck by itself without the hindrance of the guitar body getting in the way or possibly getting damaged. There really isn't a wrong way to do it, as long as you just take care with the end in mind on how you're going to approach this. I am going to glue it like this. It's very similar to the way that we would if we were gluing the whole thing at once, but it's a little bit different. One last kind of gut check here before I go any further is to double check where everything is laying out. And I want to check my gap one more time. Now what I want to see with this straight edge, if you remember at our saddle location, what we wanted before was 3.5. And what I would like to see now is about 10 millimeters at that same saddle location. We are 10 on the nose. If you're a little bit above, a little bit below 10 millimeters, that's okay. We do have some height here to take down. We've got to do some leveling, we've got to do some radiusing. But if you are around 11 millimeters, then I would suggest taking this backside and taking some height off of this a little bit more, and working on this, probably take another 0.5 millimeter or so off the back side, not the front where we've done the frets already, but on the back. And that should hopefully get you there. Hopefully you're at 10. If you're not, if you're at 9, at this point you may want to take another look. Make sure that without the fretboard that you're at 3.5, and maybe you have to work on your neck angle a little bit. This is the time to do that for sure. Now we've already checked our gap at the saddle, and that's about 10 millimeters. We have gotten our center lines at the nut and put a center line here so we can line the whole thing up. The way that I'm going to attach this is I am going to get it all lined up. I'm going to put clamps on it, and then I am going to attach the fretboard to the neck with pins. And they're really just finishing nails, 16 gauge. And I'll pre-drill those here at the 1st fret, 2 on the 12th fret. I will tap those into place, get them set, double check that everything's aligned. Once I'm sure of that, I take this clamping caul, I put them over the nails. Nails will stick here and here and here. Clamp the whole thing down. Once that is all clamped, I will remove this from the body of the guitar so that I don't glue it to the guitar, because I don't want to do that yet. If I did, I would have a longer caul that stuck out here. I would have clamps on the inside of the guitar, and I'm not there yet. I want to do all the neck carving first. I like to do it with the fretboard on, attached to the neck, so that I can make the transition from this binding to the neck much smoother. I want to make one pass along here real quick between the neck and the body with a super flat sanding block so that I know this transition is just about perfect. Feels good here, here, and that I have this area nice and flat as well. It's looking good. Yeah, I like it. So that is ready. The other reason I like carving the neck off of the body is because a lot of times I do a different finish on the neck than I do the guitar. And for me, applying those finishes differently is much easier if I have the neck off of the guitar. Now before we get too much further, let's make sure that we put our truss rod in. Give it a good push. Do a double check, make sure that it's not sticking up, that nothing's in the way. We don't want anything blocking, causing us any issues. It looks really good. I'm happy with that. Because we don't want to forget this, and we also don't want to wait until we start gluing the neck on, because that is a little stressful, and it's super easy to forget something as necessary as the truss rod. I'm going to line this up and put a pencil through it. Give myself some marks there and there so that I am sure I know where those nails are going to come up through here. All right, those are marked. Now let's get this center line. Leave myself about 5 millimeters back here for the nut. Grab the straight edge. We'll go all the way from the nut to the tail block, and that is incredibly close. Maybe I'll just tip this a little bit that way. Centered on the nut, centered on the tail block, centered on the end of the fretboard. Double check everything. All right, that is it. Put this clamp on. Right. I am going to pre-drill these holes for my pins with a 1/16 drill bit, which is very close to the 16 gauge finishing nail size. Now the drill bit I've got recessed quite a bit into here. One, because if I had it sticking way out, that's a really delicate drill bit, and the last thing we want to do is embed a broken bit into the neck. That's a bad idea. Secondly, I can use this as a stop so that I know I'm not going to go too far. This is about 1.5 times the thickness of the fretboard, and it's also just a tiny bit bigger than the frets themselves, or the fret slots themselves, I should say. And I am offsetting these from the center to make sure I don't hit that truss rod. Now it's time for glue. Now I do want to be careful not to get too much glue past this 14th fret. Don't need very much glue, again, as most operations in this build, we just don't need that much. I just want a nice consistent film across the whole thing, all the way out to the edges. I'm going to drag a little bit back there and there.
And if you tap the pins through first, it's a little easier to find the holes that you just drilled.
Come back here and clamp that in place. That felt like it found its hole. Perfect. That is aligned. It's time to clamp. The pins really do a good job of preventing skating, but it still can happen. So just be careful. We don't need to clamp the bejesus out of it. Just good firm pressure. I just have to put one giant C-clamp here. I want to make sure that this is lined up right on the heel, then I'm not crushing the guitar. That would be awful. This all looks good. Alignment still looks good. Center line's perfect. Now what I want to do is remove the neck from the body. And if you ended up with any glue here, now's the time to scrape that off. Also, two other spots to look for squeeze out are here. I see I've got a little bit there. Much easier to do this now than to come at it later after it's dried. Try not to scrape too much of the ebony away. We don't want to create a hole there. We just want to scrape that glue off. We also don't want to affect the fit of the body right here that we spent so much time getting. No real squeeze out on this side. That looks good. The other spot to check for is the nut slot. Just a few beads of glue there. And that took care of them. Everything else is good. Now I'm going to leave this clamped up for 45 minutes, an hour, and come back to it, pull the clamps, and then we'll start carving the neck. All right, now it's time to take these clamps off. Didn't glue the caul to the fretboard, that's always good. And to take these nails out. Something a little taller like this works great to pull these out so that the claw pulls the nails or the pins straight out instead of kind of at an angle if it was lower. There we go. Here's the fretboard. Everything's still aligned. Things look good. We are ready to start carving the neck. So I will see you guys in the next video.